It started with a promise so bold, so exciting, that almost nobody stopped to question it. A young woman in her late teens claimed she had invented a device that could test for hundreds of diseases, used a finger prick, a tiny vial, and answers that could save your life. Her name was Elizabeth Holmes. She dropped out of Stanford at 19 and told the world she was going to change medicine forever. She wore a black turtleneck every day, spoke in a strangely deep voice, and carried herself with the certainty of a genius. To many, she looked like the next Steve Jobs. But here's where the suspense begins. Behind the glossy magazine covers, the glowing headlines, and the billions pouring into her company, something was very, very wrong. At first, nobody dared to doubt her. Powerful men sat on her board, former US Secretaries of State, generals, billionaires. Walgreens partnered with her to put testing machines in their pharmacies across America. Investors were desperate to get in, and by 2014, her company, Theranos, was valued at $9 billion. Elizabeth Holmes herself was hailed as the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. But while the world cheered, inside Theranos walls, employees whispered. The miracle machine didn't work, not at all. Tests were inaccurate, wildly so. Patients were told they had diseases they didn't. Others were falsely cleared when they were actually sick. Lives were on the line. And yet, Holmes insisted the technology was ready. Employees who raised concerns were silenced, fired, or even threatened. Secrecy was everything. Questioning her was dangerous. The suspense reached its breaking point in 2015, when whispers escaped the building. An investigative journalist from the Wall Street Journal, John Carreyrou, began digging. Whistleblowers stepped forward, terrified but determined. And what they revealed was shocking. Theranos wasn't running tests on its so-called revolutionary device. They were secretly using traditional lab machines from other companies while lying to patients, partners, and investors. For years, billions of dollars had been built on smoke and mirrors. As the story broke, the world watched the empire collapse in real time. Walgreens cut ties, investors demanded answers, lawsuits piled up, and suddenly, the woman once hailed as the future of healthcare was exposed as one of the biggest fraudsters in Silicon Valley history. Elizabeth Holmes and her partner Sunny Balwani were eventually charged with massive fraud. In 2022, Holmes was sentenced to over 11 years in prison, and Balwani nearly 13. The glamorous billionaire image vanished, replaced by orange prison uniforms and headlines calling Theranos the biggest scam in medicine. The suspense of this story lies not just in the scam itself, but in how long it lasted. For over a decade, some of the most powerful people in the world believed in a technology that never existed. It shows how greed, hype, and the hunger to believe in miracles can blind even the smartest investors, the biggest corporations, and the most careful regulators. And the scariest part? This wasn't just about money. Real people received false results. Real lives were put at risk. Theranos is more than a corporate scandal. It's a warning. When someone promises the impossible, especially when it comes to your health, you have to stop, question, and demand proof. Because behind the promises, there may be nothing but lies. So, the next time you hear about a technology that sounds like magic, remember this story. Remember the billions lost. Remember the lives put in danger. And remember that sometimes the most dangerous scams aren't the ones happening in dark alleys. They're the ones happening on the world's biggest stages, right in front of us all.